Until just recently, I didn't think much one way or the other about the road I took home. But after a particular incident took place, now I don't really like it so much. And what incident was that? That's what I'm about to tell you right now. My house was built rather deep into the city. The closer you get to home, the less light there is. The mornings are okay and the sun shines brightly above, but nighttime is a different story altogether. It's so dark. The important part of this story began at the start of the third semester. It was the middle of winter, and the sun set earlier and earlier than during summer. By the time we finished class and then club activities, it was already dark. But still, there were streetlights, so it wasn't a huge problem. But when you entered the alley, it was pitch black. When you walk through pure darkness, it's like you're suddenly assaulted by an unknown fear, right? At least, that's how I felt anyway. Not to mention, someone in my class died not too long before that, so whenever I thought of it in the darkness, it made me tremble in fear. And, to make matters worse, that dead classmate's house was on my way home. I say house, but it was abandoned by that point and nobody lived there anymore. It's shocking how worn down a house can look when nobody lives in it anymore. It was overgrown with vines and covered in graffiti. Previously, it was so bright that it was comforting when I passed it, but now it was a mere shadow of its former self. And thinking that made me feel more sad than frightened. So, when I was passing this abandoned house one day, I saw something glowing in the backyard. And I thought that it must have been the previous occupants, meaning my dead classmate's parents had come back. So I went to take a look and there was an empty car. I looked all around, but there was nobody there, and as I approached the car to take a closer look, I finally came back to my senses. It wasn't like I was good friends with my dead classmate or anything. And so it wasn't like I had anything to do with their parents either. I suddenly grew very scared and ran all the way back home, relieved once I finally saw the nameplate that said Itakura. Danger past and God forgotten, I think the saying goes, right? I took advantage of the holiday the next day and went back to that abandoned house after lunch. I went straight to the backyard, like the day before, and the car was there in the same spot. At a glance it looked old, but it seemed to be maintained at the very least. If it weren't parked in the lot of an abandoned house, then it would look like any regular old car. I looked inside and there was a single bottle in the back seat. It looked like something was inside the bottle, but it was too dark inside the car to see. I was terribly attracted to that bottle. I think it was probably there the night before as well. I squinted, trying to see what might be inside it. There were eyeballs. A fear I couldn't comprehend filled me, and at that moment, I knew that I wouldn't even be able to scream. But that was a blessing in disguise. Something sounded behind me, meaning from the direction of the front door. At the same time, I was suddenly able to move again, so I got the hell out of there as fast as I could. I did not want to run into whoever had left the eyeballs there. I returned home after that. What's the point of this story? Is there any follow-up? Not at all. I'm no professional storyteller after all, and it's pretty obvious that I shouldn't get involved with whoever left that in the car, right? But there is one thing that's still on my mind. I feel like I've seen those eyeballs somewhere before.